Yeah. So about addiction, people are getting into social media and all that stuff. They can't actually distinguish the time when they need to be in, when they need to be out. They tend to carry themselves with the news that they have in their mind, what they've read. Now, especially kids are having this challenge. I want to ask you, how do you think parents can play a role in helping their kids to be more responsible? Because I get parents who come to us and say, hey, my God, my son or daughter is always using the phone. I'm quite crude with them. I'll just tell them, please slap the person who gave the phone to them. And they just look at me on time because the child didn't have the money to go and buy, right? So how do you think parents can play a role in helping them? Yes, social media is important, but how can they have a balanced time?
Right. So this is something that my husband and I have been toying around with. When is the right time that we give our kids the devices? But at the same time, because we as in this industry where technology is key and being able to connect and understand these devices is something that is part and parcel of our life.
Yeah.
We felt that empowering them with knowledge and will enable them to be more responsible. So they each have a social media page, which I manage, only because, again, this comes with the work that that encompasses, because we are known, our brand as a family is a family brand. We are travel vloggers, a family travel vloggers, which is also one of my goals in life, because my goal in life, my abundance is not so much on finances. It's about being able to spend quality time traveling the world with my family. I'm very, very set on that. But having said that, the clients wants to look at our branding, and that is the reason why we have social media pages for all our kids. But I think because also I work as a child activist, I know the dangers. There's predators out there, and no matter how much you want to protect your children, there are idiots, there are nasty people out there. So I think the best way to counter this is to just educate them and to tell them very frankly, these are the people that's out there. You need to learn how to handle all these creeps out there, because there's only so much blocking we can do. My daughter, Isabel, who's 12, she's turning 13 this year. She seems like she's a 16-year-old. She's already broody. She's in her room. She doesn't want to hang out with the younger kids. And we've all been through that. Well, at least I have. Okay. And that worried me, because again, I work with a lot of unwed pregnant mums, and when I counsel them, most of them aren't able to speak to their parents about them getting knocked up, or because they don't have that communication with their family. And I said, oh my God, what is the chances of me being someone who advocates all this and my own child is not talking to me, right? Because I got worried because she's not talking to me. And having said that, I do monitor their social media pages. They know that they have to be responsible. We're very strict and firm when it comes to abusing that trust. One of them recently, Isabel, going back to Isabel again. You don't like me talking to you? Can I please tell uncle something first? Can I? Can I? A little bit. Yeah. Because children, they really understand you, they know what you're saying. I think that's one thing that I learned from my mom. And you do not speak to kids like they're kids. You think of them as having the capacity of not being able to grasp certain concepts as a mature adult will be, but you don't talk down to them. And that's what I do with Isabel and the rest of the children. So when we found out that Isabel was on this chat group called Discord, naturally I thought this mother so like happening kan would know all this nonsense. I didn't. I Googled, and I was horrified to know that it is not just a gaming communication platform, because she does a lot of gaming, and I give her that time to go on to gaming and everything, provided she does everything else.
Yeah.
Are you done? All right.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
going back with Isabel, right? This is something that I wanted to address because I was really shocked, and I'm going to say it out loud there, because I've got unwed pregnant moms who are 9 years old. Okay, 9 years old, pregnant, huh? And what were you doing when you were 9 years old? 9 years old, I was not thinking of boys. That's one thing for sure. I wasn't. And when we had this case study, sorry, I'm just digressing a bit, but when we did when I checked on this case study, this 9-year-old, the first fear that came to us was she raped? Did something happen to her? Because that was our first fear, because we do have cases like that. 9 years old. What would she know, right? Found out, no, it was suka sama suka. Boyfriend 15 tahun, also underage, mind you. So that's why when some child activists go, ban child marriage, it's not as simple as that, because children nowadays are exploring their sexuality at a much earlier age than we did during our time. Maybe because it's hastened because we've got the internet and connectivity. Those days when you wanted to watch a blue film, for instance, you had to like churi get the VHS and do like that. I mean, back in those days when my brother used to do it, go churi my father's one, and let's just keep it real, But nowadays you just Google a bit, dah dapat. Some sites might be banned or blocked, but then in other ways, moving back to what happened with my daughter. So we found out about this chat room called Discord. And I was horrified because I started Googling, like, what the hell is this? And then for that moment, I had this fleeting thought that, oh my God, is there something that I do not know of my daughter? So she was at school at that time because what happened was that she was called in for hacking a friend's email to go into this Discord thing. So my anak ni hacker. So people were like, wow, anak you terror. And I'm like, no, that's not terror. Okay, that's not something that I want to be proud of. Okay, she's hacking. But I went on Discord and I cried because naturally when you read all this, like, oh, it's bad, I automatically think, is my child doing something naughty and bad? So when I went online, she was just joining completely for gaming purposes, and another one because my daughter loves drawing. She's very creative. She likes drawing. And another one that she was following these animators, how to do anime drawing and stuff like that. So of course I cried in relief because, and I felt, oh my God, I'm such a bad, horrible mother for thinking the worst of my child. And then when she came back from school, we asked her, we grounded her, took all her devices, and we said, you're grounded for this amount of time until you learn what you can't be doing that. And the father, one thing good about Azmi is that he's very fair. He said, maybe you did not know that hacking is actually under the crime of identity theft because you took somebody's email to be able to hack into this, and you can get caught into that. You are lucky that the person who caught you hacking is a friend of ours. So maybe because we didn't tell you, we did not empower you with this knowledge that this is wrong. So now that we know that it is wrong, the next time if you're caught doing this, habis engkau. But we didn't punish her per se then. We just took away her devices because she knows that that's something that's key for her. She wants to be able to communicate and stuff like that. Siva, I found a screenshot of one of the conversations that she had. And it was really alarming because it's obviously pedos and obviously groomers. But how my daughter was able to handle that conversation made me also realize that I'm so glad I've been banging on her with all this information about predators out there. My husband will show all these videos and documentaries about there are nasty people out there, because she was able to change that narrative of that person who was trying to do nonsense with her, and she's just cut it off just like that. You know what I mean? So